If you're planning to retire in 2026, there's one question you must answer before you make any decision. Not how long your money might last, and not when to claim Social Security. The real question is much simpler and far more dangerous to ignore. How much money do you actually need every single month to live comfortably, not just survive? In retirement? Because here's the uncomfortable truth most advisors won't say out loud. Millions of Americans retire believing they're financially ready, only to discover too late that they underestimated the real cost of everyday life. Groceries, healthcare, housing, and the silent killer inflation don't stop just because your paycheck does. Today, we're breaking this down clearly and honestly. No complicated charts, no sales pitch, no financial jargon meant to confuse you. Just real numbers, real categories, and realistic expectations for retirees in the United States. This isn't about fear, it's about clarity. And clarity is what gives you control over your retirement instead of leaving it to chance. Welcome to Money Hook, where retirement myths end and financial reality finally makes sense. If you are 60 or older, or within 5 years of retirement, this conversation matters more than almost anything else in your financial life. The decisions you make now don't just affect next year, they shape every year that comes after. We're not here to scare you, and we're definitely not here to sell you false comfort. We're here to prepare you, because preparation is what protects your peace of mind later. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much you need per month in 2026 to live comfortably, what comfortable truly means in real dollar terms, and how to pressure test your retirement plan against inflation, healthcare costs, and longevity before time removes your ability to adjust. One of the biggest lies in retirement planning is the idea that expenses automatically go down once you stop working. That statement sounds reassuring, and it's repeated so often that many people accept it as fact without ever questioning it. Yes, some costs do disappear: commuting, work clothes, payroll taxes, and daily lunches out. But focusing only on what goes away hides what quietly replaces it. Other expenses rise, sometimes sharply and often permanently. Healthcare costs increase as the years go on. Home maintenance becomes more frequent and more expensive. Utility bills rise as you spend more time at home. Even everyday expenses like groceries and insurance tend to climb, not shrink. The problem isn't overspending. The people who struggle the most in retirement are not careless spenders at all. They're careful, disciplined planners who relied on outdated assumptions, planning for a retirement that no longer exists in today's economic reality. Housing remains the foundation of everything in retirement. Even if your home is fully paid off, housing is never free. Property taxes don't disappear. Insurance remains mandatory. Repairs become more frequent as homes and homeowners age. Utilities don't shrink just because paychecks stop, and in many cases, they increase as you spend more time at home. By 2026, many retirees are spending between $800 and $1,200 per month just to maintain a paid-off home. If you're renting or still paying a mortgage, that number can easily double, quietly consuming 30 to 40% of your income without you noticing until it's too late. Food and daily living costs are where inflation hits retirees hardest and most consistently. Grocery prices aren't temporary spikes anymore. They reflect long-term changes in the economy. Planning as if prices will simply return to what they used to be is a mistake. That creates stress later. A comfortable lifestyle means you're not cutting nutrition, skipping essentials, or feeling anxiety every time you check out at the store. For most retirees, groceries, household items, and modest dining out now range between $600 to $1,000 per month. Comfort isn't excess, it's stability and predictability. Healthcare is the category that breaks more retirement plans than any other. Medicare helps, but it does not eliminate healthcare costs, and many people misunderstand that until it's too late. Premiums, supplemental insurance, prescriptions, copays, dental, vision, and hearing expenses all continue and they grow with age. By 2026, a realistic healthcare budget for a retiree ranges from $600 to $900 per month per person. This isn't worst-case planning. This is normal aging. Ignoring healthcare costs doesn't make them smaller, it makes them disruptive. Transportation still matters more than people expect. You may drive less, but independence doesn't disappear just because you retire. Insurance, fuel, maintenance, registration, and occasional ride-sharing or travel expenses all add up over time. Many retirees also underestimate how much mobility affects emotional and mental health. On average, retirees spend between $400 and $600 per month to stay mobile. Mobility isn't a luxury, it's freedom, dignity, and the ability to live life on your terms. Lifestyle expenses are what separate survival from truly living. Hobbies, entertainment, family visits, small trips, gifts, and unexpected expenses all belong here. A retirement budget with no space for enjoyment may sound conservative, but in reality it's unrealistic and often leads to regret. Most retirees who describe themselves as comfortable are spending between $500 and $900 per month in this category. Retirement should give you space to enjoy life, not force you into constant restraint. When you add everything together, the numbers become clear and unavoidable. A conservative but comfortable retirement typically requires around $3,300 to $3,500 per month. A truly comfortable lifestyle without constant financial anxiety requires closer to $4,000 to $4,500 per month. In high-cost states or major metro areas, $5,000 per month or more is increasingly common. These numbers are not luxury living. They're the cost of stability, independence, and peace of mind. That leads to the most important question of all. How do you actually cover these expenses month after month for decades? Social Security plays an important role, but it was never designed to carry the full load. Average benefits leave a gap, and that gap must be filled through retirement accounts, pensions, investments, or carefully planned income strategies. Ignoring that gap is how people end up stressed, forced to cut back, or returning to work when they least want to. Hope is not an income strategy. This is exactly why our next video on Money Hook will focus on one critical question. How do you realistically fulfill all of these monthly expenses without running out of money? We'll break down income sources, withdrawal strategies, and realistic ways retirees actually make the numbers work in real life. No risky shortcuts, no unrealistic promises, just practical approaches designed for people who value security over speculation. Retirement isn't about hitting a single number once and hoping it somehow lasts. For the rest of your life, it's about creating income that can sustain you reliably for 20, 25, even 30 years, no matter how the markets behave or how life changes along the way. Real comfort doesn't come from optimism alone or from assuming everything will work out. It comes from preparation, discipline, and clarity, knowing where your money comes from, how it flows, and how it adapts when life changes. Numbers don't lie, and time doesn't give second chances. Ignoring the math may feel easier today, but it always shows up later, and it always comes with consequences. If this breakdown helped you understand what retirement truly costs, make sure you subscribe to Money Hook and turn on notifications. Our next video shows you exactly how to fund this lifestyle step by step, so you're not guessing, you're prepared. This is Money Hook, where smart retirement starts.